Hello everyone, I am Toastmaster Meenu, VPPR of Toastmasters Club of Pune Northeast. We have started a series of interviews of our seasoned Toastmasters. And here we have DTM Shaikh Shakil sir. He has been general physician for last 42 years, even more than 42 years. And he has been a Toastmaster for more than how many years? For 16 years. And in these 16 years, he had played various roles in the leadership of Toastmaster Club or maybe division, district level. And here he is going to share his experience, his learning throughout this journey with us. So let's welcome our guest, DTM Shaikh Shakil sir.
Good evening to all my listeners. It is indeed a privilege for me to be interviewed by a young, enthusiastic and energetic Toastmaster like Meenu Rani, Toastmaster Meenu Rani. Thank you, Meenu Rani, for giving me some time so that I can express my experience, little experience which I have.
So my first question, and I'm really eager to know, how did you land up being Toastmaster?
Indeed, very attractive question, because I myself didn't know Toastmaster, though it was all around the city, the country where I was working, that is in Saudi Arabia. But unfortunately, I was mostly posted to the desert, because at that time Saudi Arabia was just started to build up those buildings and roads. So mostly posted in the desert. Hardly we could see anybody, any civilization there, except some camels and the workers from different countries. So definitely I have no chance to mingle with civilized people wherein Toastmasters organization are concerned. So it was only restricted to the cities, and that also to the metro cities. So I came to know very late in my life. That means I was working in Saudi Arabia since 1980, but I was introduced to Toastmaster only in 2007. So this was my first time when I came to know, and it was, a matter of just an argument where somebody told me about this, and the argument was about keeping to time, because I was very fond of mushairas, and I used to Urdu mushairas, if you know, there are poetries people, and those programs used to mention that they will start at 9 o'clock, but they never started before 10 o'clock or 10:30. And on this point, I argued that why you people are not, you must keep at least the same time when you wanted to start 10:30, that it will save our time, because we, the whole day we are working, and then in the evening again sitting. No organization or no program which starts on time. So somebody there in the argument gave me this point: no, there is some organization which starts on time and ends on time. And this was the beginning of my meeting of Toastmasters, thinking that I will point out that Toastmasters may be on time on some days only. But then I attended 3 consecutive meetings in that club, and every time I failed to point out, because it started on time and it ended on time. And that was the point wherein I immediately took the membership. I was impressed by this timing factor of Toastmasters, and that what brought me to Toastmasters, because medically we usually respect time, and we all usually say that if you respect time, time will respect you. So that is how I got Toastmasters in the desert, and the club name was Oasis. So this was my mother club.
You rightly said in medical field, what I have understood till now, that yes, health is important, and when you miss 1 hour, any patient can die. So time is very important. And if you delay, your disease can become more and more dangerous.
Yes, it will spread. Yeah.
So time is money, and time is actually very important. And that's how you are here. But still, it's a 16 long years. So why are you still a Toastmaster? Just because of time, or there was something else which kept you stick to Toastmasters?
Yeah, still, because there is something to attract, to bring it to your organization, and that was the time factor which attracted me. And the other thing which usually people say, that they want to learn communication, they want to learn leadership, they want to have connectivity, and so forth and so on. But it is not like that in my case in those days, because I was a lecturer in the Asia's oldest college, and used to take regular lecture for people, 100 students, and that was not my problem. Also, I was not so bad in leadership. But this thing that which attracted me to Toastmasters was the time factor. But when I entered Toastmasters, I found that it is entirely different. People, what communication means in Toastmasters is, you speak from your heart, and it goes to the heart. That has to be there. With keeping time in mind, and whatever time is allotted, whatever objectives being given, you have to prepare your speeches on that. And this was something challenging, though I was a good communicator, not bad in that way, but still it was a challenging thing. And you may not believe me that my first CC, before it was to be the competent communication manual with 10 projects, the first CC with 10 projects, where all the projects were on medical topics, because I didn't know anything else beside medical field. And my mentor said, Dr. Saab, you must come out of your medical field and see the world as a normal person. And then it became more challenging for me. Yes, I learned, and then my mentors taught me in difficult situation. They put me in difficult situation, and they pulled me out from that difficult situation. And that is the way to learn. And that is why today also I keep in touch with my mentors. If I feel I am lonely, I immediately call up to them or write to them on the chat and see what progress they have done, and they follow up my progress. So I personally feel Toastmaster is something unique. Not only you get so many connection, but the relationship between protege and mentor is unique. It is wonderful, and it is God gifted. It is, I have not found in any other organization. So this has kept me moving. And now today, when I stand, I have so many people whom I have guided, and now they are in different part of the world, but always we keep in touch with each other, whether in happy times or in illness or in bad days, we keep in touch with each other. And that is why I don't want to lose Toastmaster fraternity for even for a single day.
You rightly said, it really matters or means a lot to a real or true Toastmaster who have been there for a while and sees all the benefits. Although in our mission statement, we just say that we improve our communication skills and we improve our leadership skills, but still, there are so many things we get from Toastmasters. Okay, so my next question is, what do you mean or what do you understand, or what can you explain? What is Toastmaster according to you? I mean, I'm not going by definition written on the website, but as per your experience, what is Toastmaster?
See, basically, why I came and joined Toastmasters was definitely for the timing. And then I realized there is something more beside timings. And I really liked the positivity. The first thing I can say or define Toastmaster in my term is there are people, bunch of people under one roof with the positive attitude. You will not find any such session and going anywhere in the world except in Toastmasters. If you go to any club and if there are Toastmasters members and you see, observe them for 2 hours, they are all of positive nature and positive attitude. And this is a boon to Toastmasters. Not because we like positive attitude or we are from positive attitude, but even if you are introspective person, even if you are a shy person, even if you are a person with a very angry thing, you cannot control your anger. But when you come under such a roof where you are surrounded by positive attitude people who are always there to support you, to pull you up, they will never pull your leg down. That is what. And they will tell you that this is a platform, Toastmaster is a platform wherein you are given a license, you are given an opportunity to do mistake and learn from your mistake. And that is a very important thing, according to me. Toastmasters are a bunch of people with positive attitude. They are coming weekly or fortnightly under one roof and expressing themselves, expressing their ideas, and taking ideas multiplied within those 2 hours back to their home. My mentor used to say, if Sheikh Saab, if you give 5 rupees to me and I give you 5 rupees to you, at the end of the day, we go back home, you carry only your 5 rupees and I carry my 5 rupees. But in Toastmasters, your speech give me some inspiration, my speech give you some inspiration, to the other people's speech give us some inspiration, and we go back so much enriched with ideas, with stories. And ultimately, what is life? Life is a bundle of stories, whether it is your story or somebody's stories, which has a message, a positive message, and which inspire you. So that is Toastmasters, according to me.
You rightly said. And as you have 16 years of experience in Toastmaster, I have not even completed 16 months in Toastmaster. But still, I believe that, yes, positivity is very, very key factor in the Toastmaster. Because even I have given speeches, I have seen in our club as well that even somebody is not given good speech. Maybe they are not very much confident in start or whatever was the circumstances, but we never ever give them negative feedback. We encourage them to learn out of it and implement in their next speech. So that is really a good thing in Toastmasters. Even I have never seen in other organization or in any other club apart from Toastmasters. So my next question is, I know that you have been Pathway Ambassador in Toastmaster. So can you explain a little bit about what is Pathway according to you and how it helps us in this journey?
Basically, when we have when I joined Toastmasters, that is in 2007, we have this new system in place. That is the communication, competent leadership. But earlier to this was the CTM and ATM. That is the advanced leadership programs and communication leadership program. Those were the terminology used in those days. But when we entered, we thought that now, because of us, it is a new syllabus, and that was CCCL, advanced bronze leadership and communication, and so forth, so on. But the DTM was there common in those days, earlier to those days, and today also. So toward the end, that was somewhere in 2016 or 15, I suppose, Toastmaster International thought of changing the syllabus, that it is already quite thing, and they wanted to do something innovative, wherein they wanted to have the people and tell the people or to a new way. Basically, when the Toastmasters used to join from various walk of life, some people were the beginners, they want to go stepwise, but some people, they have already some background of the professional way, and they wanted to go in for presentation immediately. Because if you see the CCs, if anybody in the audience will remember the CC, the presentation comes usually under C7, C6 and C7, sorry, C7 or C8. So they have to do all the basic project until they come to their way track, and that is the presentation where they can show their talent. They have to wait for a long time, maybe 6 months or a year, and that is why most of these cream we used to lose in Toastmasters. And doing research, Toastmasters is a 98 years old association organization, which is a non-profit. They get the feedback, then they are always open to make changes, and this was thought about that better we have to reshuffle it. Whatever we used to do after CC, later comes the advanced, later comes the advanced bronze, silver and gold. They just had all those projects, but they changed the sequence. They brought some project from the upper series to a lower series, so that people of any profession or anything they join, they start enjoying from the first level also. So this was the basic thing, concept behind this. And initially it was not known as pathways. When I was getting the training, it was as rejuvenate system. That was the initial lecture. It was only in 2016 when I was elected as a club growth director, when we went for the training to Washington. There it was, we heard this name like pathways, and that way we got the training of the pathways. And later on, when we came back in district, I took up as a pathway ambassador. Initially it was ambassador, and thereafter they thought that they may need more people to guide and to teach or to coach up normal members, and then they started pathway guides. So I was from the first batch as a rejuvenate thing who was learning pathways with a different nomenclature. Thereafter it was changed to pathways, where I was selected from the district as that was in 2017. I completed that entire year, and I got the credit for pathway ambassador. So this is why the pathway has to come, and it has made to DTM easier than what it used to be before. And that is why we now enjoy throughout the pathway, because we have to just do 2 pathways. That means 10 levels, 5 levels from this pathway and 5 levels from this pathway. Few of the things which a district officer posts for a year, only a thing which has increased here is they need 1 post of mentor as well as a sponsor, or you can replace it by a coach or speechcraft or youth leadership similarly, and you slightly increase in those service leader posts. Otherwise, the speeches and all this thing, it was made much easier for anybody to reach the Distinguished Toastmasters Award. So pathway ambassador, it has today, till today, it has 11 pathways. Most of them have similar things, but something is in required project wherein you have no option, you have to do it. And at some places it is elective. That means you get a choice wherein you do it according to it, select 1 or 2 according to the choice given in that particular pathway, whether it is 4th or 5th or 3rd. So it is in that way.
Right. It's quite interesting to know the story of evolving pathways. We have right now 11 pathways, and yeah.
It is going to increase as time will go. It is going to increase as a permutation and combination. Things will improve. Things will be more challenging. And whenever there is a challenging thing, it is always brings in more attraction, and always it try to take out your hidden talent to the world, show your hidden talent to the world.
Great, great, great. And as you said, for being a DTM, it's much easier than it was earlier. So I think I may get some help and guidance from you to get that DTM with my name.
No, in short, every person who wants to be a DTM, I think every person who joined Toastmasters should have this dream to become a distinguished Toastmaster. It is not that difficult. But only thing is that you should know, or you should approach your mentor. And the mentor is the best person who can make it so easy for you. Because most of the people who are there for 6 years, 7 years, they are not knowing the importance, or they are not knowing the roadmap to distinguished Toastmasters. So this is only the problem. Otherwise, there are not a major hurdle. There are only this ignorance which we don't know how to go and how to approach the distinguished Toastmasters award. Otherwise, it is not at all. And day by day, it is becoming, as I feel, because I have done DTM in those days, and with that, I have done DTM in these new levels also, pathways also. And I feel personally that it is much easier than what it used to be before.
So is there any number of DTM you collect, or it's a one-time?
No, you may go in for any number of DTM. There is nothing, there is no restriction, provided you have the same passion in you. Because some people, they come in for Toastmasters and they collect the DTM award, and then they just go and don't continue with Toastmasters. So, person to person. But in my case, I feel that there are two things. Whenever there is open house, I always ask the newcomers, the guest, why you want to join. Or they said, yes, it is so attractive, so 2 hours we enjoyed and everything, but we will think over. This is not the time. So I ask usually, what are the reasons which keep you away from Toastmasters? So in my view, they have given me two reasons. One is, they don't have time. And second is, they said too much money is involved. So basically, these two reason is so much fluid in nature that nobody have time. Whoever it is not like that. Those are in Toastmasters, they have nothing to do. You understand? They have nothing to do. They in Toastmasters, really, I see some people, professionals. They are so busy, and still they are managing as a this is something, and especially young generation in India, this is what I have seen. They are managing their work, they are managing so many things, their family, and especially the ladies. You cannot compare when you say that I don't have time, because this is the thing. And secondly, the money, money never remains static. Nobody can hold money. Today you have money, tomorrow you don't have money. But the pleasure of life is able to get it in the future. So every day, every session of Toastmaster is a new session. Every session, go in the Toastmasters meeting as if we are fresh. We just empty your cup, as we say, empty your cup. You get the new fresh coffee, different texture, different thing, and you just enjoy it. And ultimately, one thing is that when there is nobody, you are left alone. You have somebody to ask about you. Why didn't you come? Why you didn't attend it? And that is only I find in Toastmasters. So therefore, Toastmasters is something wherein many of my generation who are there still hanging, though we going for election some year, we don't going for election some other year. But still, when we find that if there is, we can do something, we step forward. Otherwise, we step back and let the young generation go ahead, and we enjoy their leadership too. So that is what Toastmasters is all about.
Yeah, actually, it really matters a lot when some experienced person is there with us to guide us, to help us, to support us, because we are young, but we don't have experience. We have technology, but we don't have experience like you have and other Toastmasters from your
generation. We have so many people are there. Sirish Natkar, Mukta
Mukta
Natkar.
Natkar.
We are members from the same club there. Lancy D'Souza, he is also member of my club only during those days. So really, we enjoy, and we do express whatever we have learned. How simplify we can make it for the new generation. It is Toastmaster is not at all complicated. It is a challenge, but if it is not a challenge, then we may not have that feeling that you know speaker, you get something in you. But we always like to see the younger generation going much ahead of us, so that we can help them, we can support them in any way. Because younger generation, let me tell you, has so much talent, which we used, maybe we didn't knew in our heydays, but nobody was there to guide, or no organization was there to guide. But today, even Gavel Club, when we start or we take up youth leadership, I'm amazed. I'm learning from those young children. We go back to our school days when they are teaching us grammar. We do so many mistakes, we realize. But there, in those days, we used to do, and our English teacher used to teach us grammar. But today, as we are shifting away from the main line, we are becoming professional. We don't pay attention to the language. So this is something we have. But Toastmaster is something unique, and we enjoy. I enjoy especially. That is my way of
Yeah,
Toastmasters.
there is always a learning from everyone, whether it's a young kid or it's a elder one, but it's always a learning. And as you said, there are two constraints for joining a Toastmaster, like not having enough time or not having enough money, or Toastmaster club needs so much money from us. But as per, if personally somebody asks me, it's your priority, how you set your priority.
So,
If your priority is for self-development, time is never concerned. There are so many clubs which are online, and you can find time suits you, whatever time suits you. So it's not a concern of time. And money is like, if you buy a pizza one day, 1,000 is gone. And it's just a matter
that
of
was my
self-development.
point. When I used to ask member to join, I used to ask them how many tea in a day you drink. So in case, because those in Saudi Real, it used to cost 1 Real tea without milk, and 2 Real tea with milk. So 2 Real for 6 months was hardly 120, 300, less than 300 we used to have. So I used to tell them that if you spend in one day 2 Reals, and you just think over, in 1 month 60 Reals. I'm not asking you how much you are smoking. I'm not asking you where you go in a hotel and what pizza. I'm not asking, just tea, basic thing. Because I don't smoke, but I usually drink tea. So, or Pepsi. There another thing is that Pepsi, you have the same rate is there for one team, 2 Reals. So it is just avoid one Pepsi and just have a membership of Toastmasters. That is so easy. And beside this, there are people I have found that they are from vernacular medium, and they are very much talented, because when we have invited them, they have excel in table topics, because the way they think and the fast they think, they will beat anybody from the English medium too. And that was the reason that we started vernacular medium club. Was Urdu club in my tenure as a sponsor, was Urdu club. And till today, from that one Urdu club, it has grown to 4 Urdu club in Saudi Arabia. And this is a community club. We used to have a weekly sessions. And at the end, the last, because every Monday still I attend those Urdu club. It is on Monday night. And every month, we used to have a special session. That means in a month, we have 5 sessions. And that special session has a mushaira, because that was the point where I argued and I found Toastmasters. And we have a dinner. And let me, every month, people who attend, and it is all done event with the basic rule of Toastmasters. And this club, this every month, it is an open day, which we call it here. And we get about 5 to 6 members immediately, every month. And that is why we are really, and the environment is such, it is enjoyment. We have singers, we have poets in that as a members. So we still have multiple things, and see, Toastmaster is not only sessions. Toastmaster is every 6 months we have a sport competition. We used to have cricket, especially in winter season, not summer. Summer outside games are not allowed. So we used to have indoor games. We have music program every 6 months, one musical program. And this event, if you see the old CL manual, there is a special event to be conducted by Toastmasters. If you are a MOC, you get a credit. If you arrange such program, you get a credit. So for the CL, that is Competent Leadership Manual. So this used to be the backbone of everything. As we have contests, beside contests, we used to have so many things, sports. Then we have outing, wherein the families are taken. We used to hire a bus, Toastmasters, family, children, and go out the whole day. We used to, definitely everybody used to share money from their pocket. So, Toastmaster is not only coming officially. See, in this way, I really appreciate the community club. They have so many things to do. And unfortunately, the corporate club, they lose on this, though they have more advantage. And that is why I used to advise the corporate club that at least you must be a member of one community club. So this will give you, 2 age thing. You being in corporate, one membership is there. When you go to community club, you learn from them and you bring back that culture into corporate. And you have that familial closeness in corporate. And that will definitely change the environment of corporate, familial type or the things closer type in corporate. So always there is good things from corporate which can be helpful to community by having them dual membership. Or when during contests, we used to have personally, area, we used to have individual area contests. So they go back to the corporate to give them the venue for. So it was Marathi club. That was the first Marathi club of the world. But unfortunately, after 3 years, it was not able to. We were not able to continue it because most of the Marathi Manus went back to India because of some of the other reason. And the third club which I opened was Malayalam club. Though I was not a Malayali, I didn't speak, but I gave the speeches in Malayalam, and it was a comedy speech, because my pronunciation will not be that as a Malayali, so they enjoyed. They enjoyed. So this is how, and then Tamil club we opened it, and after I came Telugu club. So there are so many ways to take up all these strata people who are from vernacular medium into our fold of Toastmasters, and really you will enjoy, because you may be speaking a language at home, but when you come to give a speech in your mother tongue, you will not be able to give. This is what I have seen. I have fumbled many a times. I can speak good English at times, fumble there also, but in my own mother tongue, I am not able to give a simple speech. This is a fact. So, giving full respect to every language, Toastmasters has opened the door for all the languages. But only after 10 clubs, when we charter of that particular language, that language become official language of Toastmasters. Thus, we have Malayalam as an official language, Tamil as an official language, because many clubs in somewhere else. Malayalam is also very well established, but unfortunately, Marathi we were not able to do much. Hardly one club. Hindi also there was succeeded there in Saudi Arabia. One club was there in Delhi. One club was here in Pune. But now I think as I know, my knowledge is there is only one club surviving. But Urdu club, yes, 4 or 5 are still there. This is what I understand. So India is a vast country with multicultural people, and to the world, Toastmasters can gain more from India. This is what I feel. That is why scope of Toastmasters will never be ending, especially in a country like India, where youth are there. Youth, everything depend upon the youths, their knowledge, their talent, and that is why Toastmasters have a good scope in India. My personal feeling, and I stand and give them a brainwash to join Toastmasters. I give a guarantee they will never repent in their life if you join Toastmasters.
Yes. When I was working with Accenture Private Limited, there I had received a mail like a Toastmaster meeting is there and all. I was just thinking, what is that? And then one of my colleague was there in US, and I told him that, this has come to me and I'm wondering what is that? He said, you have never heard about it? I said, no. He said, go and check it out. I said, come on, no. And funny part is that one of the member of Toastmaster Club from Accenture, he contacted me and he asked me, will you be able to attend it? I said, okay. So he said, okay, I'll give you a speech slot. And it was an icebreaker speech. And I was wondering what to speak, because I have been from, Hindi medium, and in my MBA college, when I had to give my presentation in English, I used to fumble a lot. I had to mug up each and everything, even a full stop, comma, and everything. And even I forget even a single word, I would have messed up. I was thinking, how can I go over there and speak? And that was 4 to 6 minutes. And even one more problem were there. I had a stage fear. Believe me, I was so scared. That friend of mine, he helped me for drafting my speech, because I was not knowing anything about Toastmaster and what is icebreaker speech and anything. I was not aware. So he helped me that, okay, you talk about this, write things. And then he corrected a few things. And I went there, I gave a speech, and I was so confident. Our counter said there was 2 or ums. That's all. I said, come on, it can't be me. And over the stage, eye contact were good. Everything. I mean, I got good feedback. And it was the best thing in my life. Like, what? It was me. And after that, due to time constant, and project limitation, I could not attend many meetings, and I could not go for membership. But after I resigned from company and I started working for myself, I thought, let's again check out where I can join Toastmaster, and I found our Vimannagar Toastmaster Club. So I'm
basically, in my advice to youngsters is don't miss the bus, what we have missed, because you are young and what you will learn now, you will benefit in your professional front. But we joined very late. That was the question which was asked in my interview with the Toastmasters International. They asked me why you joined Toastmasters so late in 2007. So I told them that most of my tenure after my medical college and service in Bombay was in the desert, deep desert. And that is why I was not able to know about Toastmasters or read, because those days we didn't have any internet and all of this thing. We didn't have mobile also. On the contrary, in those desert, we used to go miles together to find a phone or walkie-talkie, that type of phone, to contact our people, which was maybe once in a month or so. So I used to work most of the time in the deep desert. So after the interview, it appeared in the Toastmasters International magazine of 2017 February, and the heading was they gave is the Desert Doctor. So that is what the heading was. If you go back and check the magazine of 2017 February, you will read my interview there. It is there. So it is, when I joined very late and I was not able to benefit in my professional thing, because by that time I was well settled and I was having a aim, and this type of thing didn't help me much. But at your age, at young age, let me tell you, don't miss a single session in Toastmaster if you are a member in good standing. You are missing a lot. And today, whatever you learn or you have the skill, it will be for you for your lifetime, for which you are not going to pay anything to Toastmasters International. Whatever you learn here, today you are paying, but this skill will remain with you for lifelong time, and you will benefit multiple times with this skill when you implement in your professional front. So don't hesitate a single minute. I didn't hesitate it. So my personal guidance or advice to all the youngsters is join Toastmasters. Do not delay, and you will never repent. Join and seriously, attend seriously. Because usually what happens, if you attend seriously, within 6 months, somebody will point out there is some change in you. And that is what we understand, that this particular person attended Toastmasters regularly. If you don't attain, usually the corporate gives you all the fees and all this thing. And if you take it easy, this is the time, see, I can just appreciate that you are very lucky that your management, your corporate is giving you so much. You are very lucky. The luckiest person on the earth, I can say. Have the advantage of it. Let your company benefit also, because in that way you are going to benefit for lifelong, and your company will benefit until you are in service with the company. So always remember that you are one of the lucky guy whose the corporate is very much gracious, generous. And I thank each and every corporate which is there throughout the world, that they are doing a very good thing for their employee, giving them training, though it is one of their important duties also. But indeed, having a Toastmasters club is something unique. So my advice is, if you are losing a single session, you are losing so much things, but you will only repent in case if you have not utilized this importance of it. But otherwise, if you are really, you will, one day you remember my word, you will never repent. You will learn this skill now, today, it will remain with you for lifelong. So Toastmasters International is really something unique, something great. Today also, I don't think I know much. Every session I learn, and especially from youngsters like you people.
Wow. Thank you so much for such a wonderful advice. And it's really, really for lifelong, whatever we learn in Toastmaster. It's not for just profession or just for Toastmaster. It's in your personal life. It's your personality because it develops you, it evolves you. Okay, so my second last question is, you have played different roles, leadership roles, maybe at club level or at area level, division level or district level or beyond that. How you find our club roles, maybe XCOM or maybe meeting roles like Sergeant at Arm, Timer, our counter, how these are important for a person to learn something. Because many people think that, oh, for a meeting, Sergeant at Arm, it's just a piece of cake. I don't want to do it. But why it is important and how we can learn from each of these roles.
Basically, there is a leadership manual. I personally advise every member of the XCOM to go from the first page to the last page. This is what told by my mentor. And in that leadership manual, we'll come across everything what we have to do as an XCOM. As a simple role of Sergeant at Arms, because now most of the meetings have gone online, but in a physical meeting, Sergeant at Arms has a very crucial role. The person used to come. I have been Sergeant at Arms once only. So we have to go at least half an hour before. We have to open the rooms in the school or in the restaurant where it is and see to arrangement that everything has been arranged. Well, the whiteboard is there, the pen is there, the ribbons are there, the certificate is ready. Beside this, there is speech, and they have to have a projector or something that is connected well in advance. Beside that, if there is any prop, a particular type of chair, or somebody brings something from their home, we have to see that they come early, deposit that to us. And we have at places, our club will have a stage, a stage where we manage a stage where we used to create an atmosphere of contest in every session, that every speech which is done will be evaluated not only by the main evaluator, but we have made it compulsory that the mentor should be present when the mentee is giving a speech, because the mentee gets evaluation from the evaluator verbally as well as written. But the same speech when seen, the mentor is already guide, and we don't used to allow the speech unless and until the mentor has cleared the person that he has heard the speech a couple of times of the mentee and he's satisfied that his mentee has acquired the professional way. Then only he will say, yes, you give him or her the slot. And the mentor used to sit, and then the mentor used to tell the mentee that this is the one-to-one evaluation was there. So this type of thing, if we inculcate, so it will change it. Beside this, there are something like the treasurer, especially in the community club, we need to present the budget in the first month of every term. That is July, and the second was January. But here, maybe some clubs must be doing it diligently, but most of the club, they are not having anything like budget or not having any audit report. Members are not knowing how much money the club is having. And this always, this problem, when you don't take care, the club lands up in problem. When a lot of money is chunked away by one of the members who has been earlier, and your money is taken out and people are not knowing about it. So sometime we used to have every 3 months how much is the budget and what is the situation of the club. This has to, because if we have less amount of money, we used to have an additional collection toward the end. And the other thing is, for renewal, it is much early. For example, the next month is September, and this is the month of August. August month, we should start collecting the money, because as soon as 1st of September comes, you must start paying those people whose money you have already have. So you don't rush in the last moment. Sometimes this thing, if you don't do it, you may be losing a crucial DCP point if you are not renewing it within time. So this is very important. This is very important. So few of the things which ExCom should have monthly meeting, at least minimum. We used to have weekly meetings, or if you can have fortnightly meetings. Same, you are having an official meeting or offline meeting, you sit down for some time after the meeting, or you have online meeting, you immediately after the meeting have another link and meet. The 7 person attend the meeting and they put up their points. What are the things they have to do? What are the things? And the president has to distribute the work. VP Education is bothered about the 6 DCP point. VP Membership will tell about the new members or the renewal of the members. And one thing is that we have to be very much transparent. If some guest comes through some members, give the member the credit of bringing the guest and making the member, make him the sponsor, because there is a point there in the membership form, the sponsor of the member. And if suppose Meenu Rani has brought a guest and that guest is becoming a member, I should, as a treasurer of VP member, I should be honest enough to put the name of Meenu Rani as the sponsor of that person. So, if you can collect 5 members, sponsor 5 members, you get automatically a pin from the Toastmasters International. It will come to you directly, because everything, if it is the form is filled correctly, you may not be knowing how many members or guests you have brought and how many become member, but Toastmasters International have the record. As soon as your 5th member comes against your name, they dispatch you a pin of 5 membership. I have such collection of my membership pins also. Those. So it is very important. And these small things, which is not with any cost to the club. It is coming directly from the Toastmasters International to your doorstep. Then you must bring it and hand it over to the president. And let the president hand it over to you in front of the audience. This will be an inspiring thing for the other people also, other members also. So many things are there in Toastmasters, which we, due to lack of time, or we don't want all things, we don't. And as you said, there are fun masters, wherein you have to have a joke within 1 minute. There is a table topic evaluation, which some clubs have taken up and doing diligently well. There you can have 10 minutes of mentors slot, wherein every session some senior members come you and give you a glimpse of some aspect wherein you increase your knowledge of Toastmasters. So many ways of attracting and making a quality sessions are there. So many, there are hundreds of ways wherein you can have a reverse session. That means you adjourn the meeting and then go back. The evaluation will come first. He will evaluate you, the evaluator, without the speech. This depends upon the experience of a person who knows the speaker from the previous speech, what usually are the shortcomings and this. And then comes the table topic, and then comes the speech proper, and then comes the introduction of the members. So this is called a reverse thing. And it is, it is a challenging thing, and you have to be really very much lateral thinking is important there. So there are so many ways. Panel discussion is there, which has to be there. Sometime now this PQD have asked people, if you have seen, to go in for the workshop of better speaker leadership, and they are really very good workshop, which we have done it multiple times in during the old session, and we used to have those manuals also, wherein we used to fill it up. So, and that was important because of the leadership manual. When you submit it for the bronze and silver, you have to submit this workshop, which you have to do personally and then submit it. But then all this thing is lost in pathways. But thanks to our present District 125 PQD, they have started to put this for every club, and it is really a very great thing, and I think all the members will benefit it. Even if you have one such workshop in a month, you will have 12 workshop in the year, or you can have always, as I said, if you have 10 minutes mentors slot, alternate session, you can cover this workshop in 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, maximum 15 minutes. So many good things are there, which we are not usually having it in a regular way.
It's been so amazing, so interesting to listen to you. I think I can keep listening to you. But
I think there must be limit, otherwise people will not be, they will get bored. Yeah. So
yeah, that's why my last question is, whatever learnings you had uh, throughout the year or throughout the journey of 16 years, how it has been applied to your personal life?
see, personal life, my family used to get irritated. One thing, my wife, because those days, my mentors, they have strict this thing. I have to speak in front of mentor to get a slot. So I have to practice at home. So after coming from the hospital, when you start practicing, your wife is irritated first. Their children says, so many mistake, Papa, in your English, you better don't
Give a speech.
Toastmasters. So first of all, the critical but it is you who should see that you want to learn. So you must. I was a headache to my family. There is no doubt about it. But later on, when I started getting some medals and some plagues, they started enjoying it also. So that was the thing. But for family, as Toastmaster, the best thing is you should make your family join Toastmaster. Then you are quite comfortable. So ultimately, my youngest daughter, she used to attend Toastmasters, but she used to sit outside. We have a tent in this, we used to have a thing, and the outside there was a swimming pool. So she used to always go outside, squeeze, we are started session. She used to slowly go outside and sit down at the swimming pool. I didn't know, but toward the end, she started liking Toastmasters because one or two times she has the table topic, and then she joined Toastmasters and she completed her CCs in 2 months, because that time she was to come for good to India. So I told her that you complete, and join late and you really repent on why you joined late. So this is one of the example of my own family. Now regarding our fraternity, they were supporting. They were really supporting me. And today also, even my first speech, which has been evaluated, the person still remembers me, and we usually talk. He says that first speech you were so raw, and this thing and that thing. Still, he tried to remember my speech, and he still evaluate me, though he has evaluated me in many speeches. Now also, last week I have given a speech in Saudi Arabia, my own club. I'm a member there also now, because since we are online. So I give some speeches there, some his speeches here, some in other clubs also. So, but thing is that nobody, unless and until it is a Toastmaster, they understand you. And we used to always, when we drive, we used to car, and we used to stop on the signal. And those days we never have the mobile, this Bluetooth or something, but we used to practice speech while we are standing. And some people were thinking that we are talking, keeping the mobile down and talking. So this gives people some odd expression that this person has gone mad. Is because we used to practice so much. Whenever you go, you get time, you have to practice, and that is only the way if you want to really perform well. And you are thinking of going to the world champion of public speaking, you can do it also. Because one of our club member, Muhammad Al Khatani, he won the world champion in 2015. And remember, if you go through his book, you can realize that a person was a stammerer when he was a child. But one thing was there. He was a actor, and he was a humorous speaker since the beginning. Every humorous speaker have a silver lining that he can easily become an international speaker. So this is the importance of humor in prepared speech. This is what I learned from him. So this is really something, and go in with your full. I don't think anybody can stop you if you really decide that you want to become a world champion of public speaking. You can do it. Anybody can do it. So my thing is that if you are a Toastmasters, achieve something. Don't waste time and money, because both belongs to you. So if you are a Toastmaster, be sincere, be religious, and do something great. Acquire some, rule the hearts, not the world, but the hearts. And only Toastmasters can do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheikh sir, for wonderful, inspiring session and talk. I'm really telling you that I just feel that I should keep listening to you. But as time
it has become very long.
Yeah. So
we will have some other day, some other aspect of
yes. Yeah. So let's end this session for today. And thank you so
much. And thank you for all the thing, giving me opportunity to talk. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving this opportunity to me to interview you, to listen to you, to share your thoughts with the world. And yes, I'm Meenu and signing off from this interview. See you in next interview.